United facing Brighton in the Premier League. We're going to be talking about the form of Cristiano Ronaldo, the form of Marcus Rashford, the form of all of them, to be honest with you. Check it out. Jay here of Stretford, Paddock. This is the Brighton preview. Manchester United facing Brighton under the lights at Old Trafford on Tuesday night. Joining me in what seems like an eternity.
Hello.
Joe McGrath. How are we doing, brother?
I'm very good. Yeah, we've not crossed paths. I've crossed paths. I've been on watch-alongs. You've been actually at the game. Yeah. I was the B team watch-along on Saturday.
Whoa. You're
the C team.
You're never the C or the B team.
Of course we are.
Let's not overestimate yourself. You're at least a D.
Exactly what some people say in the comments. So we did have to go through that. Such a bad game on Saturday.
It was a good watch along as yourself, Geordie and Ange, but the game wasn't good, was it?
It was awful, mate, from start to finish. Well, you think the first 40 minutes were good.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think the first 40 minutes were good.
Okay, let's get into this then, because me and Joe, last time we did a preview, me and Joe Smith, we spoke about the mentality of Manchester United. It become an issue, the Middlesbrough game, the Burnley game, the Villa game, taking the lead and then conceding, dropping points or getting knocked out of the FA Cup in the case of the Middlesbrough game. Same old story against Southampton. Now, you don't think it was a good start?
No, because as soon as we get the goal, and it was a decent goal, great finish by Sancho, we made the most of Rashford on the wing there. But as soon as that goal went in, there was no urge or need to try and find a second goal. I don't think we created enough chances. I don't think we used what was a good format by getting Rashford, doing the runs and sort of causing a problem for their back line. We never did it again. And I can't really think of another great opportunity or great chance in the first half that came after the goal. And this is a team that has had 2 1-1 draws on the bounce. So you would have thought that somewhere in training or somewhere in Ralph's team talk, he might want to say, let's not just score one and hold on to that. Let's just go attack. If we're only good for the first half, let's score 4 goals in the first half.
Okay.
No, they scored 1 and it all just went downhill from there. There was no highlights after the Sancho goal.
I want to ask you about that then, because one of the sort of issues I had with the game on Saturday, and we're going to, looking ahead, obviously, we're looking ahead towards the Brighton game, and I want to ask you if this can work. Sancho and Rashford keep swapping over.
Yeah.
Now, for the first, all right, you say we weren't great in the first half, but at least Rashford was getting down that line, getting in, he got an assist.
Yeah.
Sancho's causing him all sorts of problems on the left. Then they swap over, and we seem to lose a little bit of that. Are you a fan of him swapping over and all this sort of stuff? I'm
not a fan. I don't understand why it happens to sort of get the best out of them both on different sides. Also, to cause the defence a bit of a headache. I think it's something that Ralph thinks is quite clever and maybe he likes in his football teams.
Yeah.
But for me, we only saw it really work well when Rashford was down the right. And then when it switched, it just sort of didn't look as clinical. And I don't think the players were necessarily as comfortable there. I know often they can play either side just as well. But there was just something about Sancho on the left that just screamed like he was ready to just give his all. And I think he was brilliant in that game. He was the only shining light for me, Sancho, was his ability on the ball.
Well, I slightly disagree with you. I don't know, shining light's a bit of an exaggeration, but I thought Paul Pogba had a good game. What did you make of his performance? And what did you make of his performance since he's come back?
He had a good first half.
All right.
Do you think he had a good second half?
I'm not trying to be diplomatic here. I thought he was one of our best players in the second half. I did. He wanted the ball. He tried to make things happen when he got the ball. Some of his teammates didn't. I thought McTominay went missing. I thought Bruno was huffing and puffing, but nothing was coming off. I at least saw Paul Pogba getting hold of the ball and playing in some good passes to the likes of Sancho and to Rashford. It's just the moves kept breaking down with one person a lot of the time. And that person, funnily enough, was Cristiano Ronaldo. And I want to move on to him, looking ahead to the Brighton game. What have you made Ronaldo this season, and can we keep relying on him?
He was a goal scorer in the first half of the season.
Yeah.
He just seemed to be at the right place at the right time. He seemed like he was enjoying his football. But then, as United have seemed to get worse, so has Ronaldo. So are the two linked? Does his form and United's team as a whole's form just sort of crumble together? And I think the answer is yeah. And you got to rely on Ronaldo. He's the top man. He's the sort of goal scorer. And for a team that scored 3 goals against 3 pretty weak defences in the last 3 games, you've got to say something's wrong. But we are creating chances, but we're just not finishing them. And that's just worrying, isn't it? Why can't we? This reminds me of the days of, we used to look at stats back in the days of Van Gaal and Mourinho, and we used to look at them, and we used to create some good chances, but we never seemed to score goals. And when Ollie came in, I think we scored. We started bagging, and people were bringing up the stat that we've not scored 5 goals in a game since Fergie was in charge. Yeah. That was one of the stats. So we started scoring again, but now we're not. Now we're getting 1 goal. I think I counted during the watch along the amount of times we've just bagged 1 goal in a game since Ralph's taken over is incredible.
I mean, you're right, because you mentioned it earlier. Middlesbrough, 1 goal wasn't enough. Yeah. Burnley, 1 goal wasn't enough. Southampton, 1 goal wasn't enough. Now, the reason those goals aren't enough, as well as we should be getting more, but the reason not enough is because defensively we're having these little laps. I'm going to get into your predicted 11 or your preferred 11. We're going to do it differently. We're going to do preferred 11. Preferred. But just before I get to that, defensively, where'd you point the fingers? All of them, one of them, more of them. Who?
The thing since the game on Saturday, and you're on Twitter and on United Twitter,
which is a lovely place to be. By the way,
a lot of people dissect the game, frame by frames and motions of play, and then they look at who's in the wrong. Luke Shaw got called out, I think, for playing people onside, which by the way, the amount of times we were offside as a team, on that is just basic.
You see that picture?
That was embarrassing.
Of the line of I think 6 players all
that
offside.
Is embarrassing, isn't it?
It's amazing to see that.
But it's just 101 is make sure if you're going to play that line, make sure you execute it properly. So Luke Shaw, you could say Maguire sits in that centre midfield, centre defence, and he is captain. By the way,
right now, thanks for reminding me.
He is captain. We both watched the Rooney documentary, haven't we?
Yeah, I love it.
And in Rooney's documentary, I love Rooney, and it's just brought him into a new light for me. But one of the things I was thinking about is he had that winning mentality, but he always had captains that would match his winning mentality. Yeah. So he'd have Roy Keane, he'd have Vidic. He became captain himself in the later career. They'd always want to win at all costs, really. Yeah. Gary Neville was there from time to time as well.
Yeah, that's true.
But say we are bringing these young players, these players that have got fight and they want to win everything, you look over to your captain and it's Harry Maguire, and he's looking a bit lost, a bit like the challenge of being that captain is maybe too much for him, a bit like he can't even do his own job. Yeah. And when he can't even do his own job, he can't then start bollocking people to do their job. Yeah. Because they can go, in training, in training, if you're like, you're not doing it right, you go, well, you're shit as well. Do you know what I mean?
You can't have a go at me.
No one could turn around to Keane, could they? Go, you're shit.
No, they couldn't, because Keane was invariably the best player on the pitch, or at least the one who's, driving everyone on.
What do you think about Maguire?
I've always defended Maguire, stuck up for Maguire. I think he is a good player having a bad spell, but the bad spell's gone on too long, and that's why I'm going to discuss this even further in my preferred 11. We'll go to your preferred 11 first. This isn't predicted. This isn't who we think Ralph Rangnick's going to pick. This is who we want to see him pick. So go on, Joe. Hit me with it, brother.
I'm going to go De Gea.
Right.
I'm going to keep Shaw on.
Shaw? Right, okay.
I'm going to keep Shaw on. I'm going to put Lindelof and Varane. Yeah. This is my preferred 11. It won't happen, though, because Maguire's captain, and I just don't see him do it. And then I want to bring Wan-Bissaka back into the team. People slag Wan-Bissaka off, but at this moment in time, I think he offers a bit more than Dalot. Okay. Dalot's still a bit weak, and I know
I will sort of agree with you to a certain extent.
To a certain extent.
I think that none of our fullbacks have shone this season. I've said this. I think, for me, Dalot and Tellez have been better than Shaw and Wan-Bissaka. No, you don't agree. But I don't think any of them have been like amazing.
None of them are good. None of them are great.
I think they've been okay, some of them.
The only thing I'm being about Wan-Bissaka is his pace can be scary at sometimes. Some people say Dalot was he didn't have the backup on the weekend. Yeah. There was a lot of times where the strikers should have been tracking back and they didn't, and I understand that. But I still don't think this is the end of Wan-Bissaka's career. Could he do a Luke Shaw, but that's not really worked. But when Luke Shaw had that time out and then came back and was our best player.
Yeah, he did.
It could be a moment for Wan-Bissaka to have been sitting on the bench now, for him to be working on stuff in training, and it is a Brighton game at home. Yeah. Let's see, he'll have the crowd on his ready for him. Let's see if we can do it. Right. But drop Maguire.
Right, okay. Go on then. So that's your back five.
Midfield 3, we've got Fuck all of it. Matic is injured.
Yeah.
And
I think
Van der
Fred,
Beek's
at the
gone.
time of recording, we're not sure what's happening with Fred. I think he may not be available. He may not.
It's going to
sure.
have to be Pogba, McTominay, and Bruno.
Right, okay, fair enough.
But that Pogba, McTominay, I don't think they've got that. They've got that incredible midfield partnership that we kind of want.
Yeah. I'm falling out of love with Scott McTominay.
Wow.
I'll get to him in a minute in my 11. He's another player that I've always sort of stuck up for and liked, but I just feel like he's going missing. I feel like he's not showing for the ball. I just do. I feel like he's just hiding. And I don't like saying that about Scott McTominay because I like the guy. But I was watching him against Southampton, and he's just stood with a player in front of him, an opposition player in front of him, constantly. Move to the side, give Maguire or Varane or Pogba or whoever an option, and he's not. He's just static, and I don't like that. I want my players to at least show for the ball. So go on, you're stuck with your 3.
Well, yeah, stuck with 3. And then I want to play, I've just changed it in my head then quickly. So I want to play Sancho. I want to play Lingard.
Right,
We've got him.
Right.
We've got him. Clubs wanted him.
Yeah.
He offered something going against teams like Brighton.
Right.
Why not see what he's got?
All right, so you've got Sancho and Lingard. Who's your striker?
I want Rashford up top.
Oh,
And I
it's
think
a big call.
I think
from
it's
Mr.
a big
McGrath.
call, but often when Rashford we get the best out of Rashford. He's often just his pace and being sometimes in the right place at the right time and just bagging goals. And Ronaldo hasn't done that. Cavani still might have a groin injury. I think that for me would be the 3 that I think is a scary looking top 3. It's got pace and hopefully it's got goals in it. But the Rashford down the middle, I know we brought in these strikers, haven't we? And often just that down the middle, like just get them down the middle.
All right, okay. Listen, fair enough. Get involved in the comments. Let's
Probably
know what you
not
think
gonna
about
like it. You're
Joe
probably not
McGrath's
gonna
preferred
like that.
team. Mine's slightly different. At left back, David De Gea.
Left back David De Gea?
I've gone, left back David De Gea. It's controversial. I've gone with Alex Telles. If he's available, if not, it'll be Luke Shaw. But if Telles is available, put him in. I've dropped Maguire as well. I think it's time to bring back Victor Lindelof. He's been our most consistent defender.
Yeah,
he has. I know Varane's been better, but he's been missing a lot of games. I think Lindelof is far more reliable than Harry Maguire, and we can't keep dropping points while we wait for Harry Maguire to get his mojo back. So I've gone with Lindelof, Varane. On the right back, I've gone with Delo. I just think he's got the edge this season over Wan-Bissaka. And I'm not going to say that he's been amazing because he hasn't, but he's been slightly better for me. The midfield 3, we're stuck with it. Well, when I say stuck with it, I think Pogba's been done well since he's come back. I like Bruno. McTominay, I think if Matic or Fred are available, I'd have them in ahead of him. I just don't think they are. At the time of recording, they aren't anyway. They might be by the time it is. The game kicks off, and if they are, I'd have either Matic or Fred, I don't care, over McTominay. Don't care.
Really? So why is it that you've fallen out in love with him?
I just think he's having a bad season. And it gets to a point where you add up how many good games and how many bad ones. And the bad ones are outweighing the good ones.
Yeah.
He had a good game against Burnley at home. He had a good game against Spurs. But other than that, I'm struggling. Get involved in the comments and remind me. He had a good second half against West Ham.
Yeah.
But it's not, it's not been great. It's just not. And I was watching him the other day. I did like my own little player cam at the ground. I'm just watching a player for like 5 minutes. And I just think, you're not showing for the ball. I didn't shout anything to him. I said, Scott, I'm watching you now, son. Fix up, look sharp.
Don't muck up.
Yeah, but I just felt he just wasn't showing for it. It was annoying me. And he's been accused of that, and I've never bought into it, but I noticed it a lot. And I think the minimum I expect from Manchester United players is wanting that ball, showing for that ball. If you're not doing that, I'm sorry, bro, you've got to go. Front 3, I'm going to go with Anthony Elanga on the left. I'm going to go with Edinson Cavani if he's fit again. Down the middle, big ifs. And on the right-hand side, this is my preferred. In fact, do you know
what are you going to say? Give us both of them what you're going to say.
It's the whole thing with Ronaldo. He's going to start scoring sooner or later, innit?
Why?
All right, sack it. Do you know what? Elanga, Cavani, and on the right-hand side, Sancho. But you can...
That was what I was going to go for.
I don't think you can drop Jadon Sancho at the minute. You can drop Cristiano Ronaldo. If you can, stomach it, because that's going to give Ralph Rangnick a bit of a headache. But that'd be my preferred 11, so I don't think Ralph Rangnick will do that anyway. Brighton, we'll move on to them. Doing well, aren't you, under Graham Potter?
Yeah.
Got some good players. Danny Welbeck, of course. One of the greatest players in the history of Association Football. They have lost Dan Burn, which is a big loss for them, the centre-back who went to Newcastle. Do you think they could cause us problems with the way they play? They like to play sort of nice football, good passing. Is it Neil Maupay involved and one or two others who are sort of nippy and can cause you issues?
I think Graham Potter as well is sort of one of those names that gets floated about in the big teams, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He gets floated about that this could be a future manager who takes on the reign of a top 4 club or a team just underneath it. So not only is there an extra added value on this game because Brighton want to win and get the 3 points, and they've seen that teams, in their sort of ballpark like Southampton and Middlesbrough and Burnley, they can get results against United. The old days of the Old Trafford being this fortress is really
they went
hard,
in 2013.
You've got Brighton rocking
As
up.
soon as David Moyes,
3 points.
as soon as Fergie retired, that ended.
It's mad, isn't it?
All the records have gone. I just want to ask you quickly: who's your favourite Potter? Is it Graham, Brian, or Harry?
It's got to be Brian.
Is it?
Yeah,
I love Brian
it's
Potter.
got to be Brian Potter.
He gets my vote as well. Although my kids disagree, they all love Harry Potter.
They love Harry Potter.
Kids love Potter. With all that critical analysis taking place, give us your score prediction.
I'm going to go with 1-1.
No!
Controversial. I think it's going to be the 4th game on the bounce. 1-1.
I can't believe you got me 1-1. Pathetic.
What are you going with?
2-2.
I don't think we're going to get 2.
We don't win football matches anymore. That's not what we're about. We're better than that. Joe, where can people find you?
Just search as Joe McGrath 95 on Instagram. Go and follow me on Instagram.
Go on, he's a funny guy. Always good for a good laugh and knows his stuff as well. So make sure you're checking him out. You know where to find me. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel. This has been the Brighton preview. That's been Joe. I've been Jay. Thanks for watching.